Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be sharing some of the things that God has been teaching me about marriage. Are you ready? Let's talk. So before I begin, I'd like you to take a second and look at the picture on your screen. Tell me what you see. Yeah, so many of us have insured our cars, our assets, the phones, the laptops, etc., but have forgotten to insure the most important thing, and that is our life and that of our family. Yeah. This year, I've learned a lot about life insurance, and there's something called the breadwinner's dilemma. Have you heard about it? Where the breadwinner, something happens to them, and our life is on standstill. Yeah, we cannot have the kind of life we did before when this person has either gotten injured or has passed on. Yeah, so I would like you to reach out to Hillcrest Insurance Brokers for free. They will structure for you a life insurance policy that can work for you and your family. Don't get caught without life insurance at the time when you really need it. So reach out to them using the numbers on the screen, and they will save you a lot. All right, so let's begin. Yeah, it's no secret that I really love my marriage. I love marriage. I love Steve so much, and I've been relying on God on this journey to continue to teach me and mold me, for the better in this marriage. And some of the things that God has been teaching me are, the first one is to see Steve as he sees him. Yeah, sounds confusing, but to see your spouse as God sees them and to extend them grace. So many times we are too critical as wives. You're seeing what the guy is not doing right, how he's not measuring up to your standard, and being too critical. And God is teaching me to show Steve grace. See him as a person that God is working on, because he's working on you too. Yeah, so many times we focus on the other party and forget that we also have faults and weaknesses that God is trying to work on us. But we see this person and focus on only their negatives, and yet they're doing so much in this marriage. How much they are putting in, the sacrifices they are putting in, So God has been teaching me to show Steve grace and to see him as his son who is on the journey of progress and, just working on himself. So I think it's a call to us as wives. Don't be too critical. Have a list. Sometimes if we write these things down, we begin to, our eyes begin to open. What are those things that you like about your spouse? What are those things that I like Steve? Write them all down. He showers the kids. He puts fuel in my car. He always takes me here or there, or he drives me, early morning in the direction he's not even going. He does that for me. So when you begin to list all those things, you begin to see, wow, he's actually doing a lot. But when we focus on only the negative, you want him to be a certain way, and you're feeling like, he has not done this, he has not done this, then that's going to affect your marriage, because that's the kind of light you're going to see on your spouse. So just, I've been learning to see Steve as a child of God, as a work in progress, and look at his amazing attributes and the things that he does for our family. And let me tell you, I've gotten to love him even more by doing that. So I think it would be a call for us as wives to just focus on the good things. And that doesn't mean that you ignore the negative, and don't call them out or don't have conversations. But if your spouse is always feeling like, I can't measure up, I'm doing this wrong, what am I doing right in the marriage? Then that's going to help make him have a low self-esteem. His ego is going to be, broken and things like that. So just remember that your words have power, especially as women. So use them right, but just see him as God sees him, trying to work through things and being molded into the image of Christ. So that's the first lesson that I've been learning. The second thing I've been learning in marriage that God has been teaching me is to give up my desires. And let me tell you, it's not easy because we are inherently selfish. We want what's best for us. What do I have to gain from this? Does this make me happy? There is this whole saying of, do what makes you happy. But there are so many times you have to do things that do not make you happy. But are serving the other spouse. They make the other person happy because you are thinking about them first. And I really love a few scriptures that talk about this. Let me just read them for you. Philippians 2:3 that talks about, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Now, we can talk about valuing everyone around us, but we need to start at home, yeah? Do you value your spouse more than you value yourself? And it's even in the small little things, yeah? For example, you're tired, you've had a long day. For example, I've had shoot day all day. You know, you reach home, you just want to pash, take a shower and sleep. But Mr. Man is tapping. He's tapping you, you know, he wants to be intimate and things like that, but you are honestly tired. You know, so many times, it's not that you're pretending. Sometimes you're honestly tired. You just don't want to go into that, yeah? But then you think about your spouse and you're like, it's not about me. It's not about me. Because every time it's about you and how you feel, you'll never get things done for the other person in the marriage. So giving up my desire, that car, whatever minute of sleep that you're going to save, you feel like you're going to waste, it's okay to surrender it and just have this time together and, you know, get intimate. And as you go through it, you'll be like, wow. Because after you enjoyed it, you got closer, you bonded, he's happy, you are happy, you know, and things like that. So there is a lot of just sacrificing that has to go on in marriage. And God has been teaching me to serve Steve, you know, even more. So those times when you're feeling like, I'm tired, and your excuses are even, you have a right, you know, but then just thinking about the other person, and you know that they need it, you know that for them it's more than just, you know, so you just give it to them. And I've also seen Steve do the same for me. And when you go through marriage, you realize the more you sacrifice, even the other person, somehow their heart kind of breaks and does these things also for you. Now, for me, I love conversation. Oh, I love to talk. When Steve comes back, I just want to hit him with everything that happened. I want him to hear. I want him to see all my reels. I'm like, babe, see what the reel I did today? See this red dress? What do you think? Like, the whole jazz. And yet he has also come back from work tired. But then he sits up and listens to me go on and on and on. And for me, that is quality time. That is intimacy. For me, it's even more than you get than the whole. So when you do that for one another, you begin to see that, wow, you are flourishing together. So don't say, now for him, he doesn't. You know, women will have to say, but you know, women are the ones always sacrificing. It's okay, you sacrifice. Do your role, you know, and God will bless it. And you begin to see that person is won over by your works. Even the Bible talks about it. So just give up your selfish desires, just like I have, and I continue to learn. So this is a work in progress. So the Holy Spirit keeps nudging me. Sometimes, you know, I want to do something that is, you know, a bit selfish, and it's like, no. So we need to always be alert to the promptings of the Holy Spirit so that we allow him to work in us. But if you shut off and you only do what you feel, that whole feeling thing is going to destroy marriages. So it's not about doing what you feel. It's about just listening to God and, you know, what he wants you to do for your spouse in the marriage, yeah? So yeah, that's the second thing God is teaching me. The other thing that I've been learning is things take time. So I think just learning that you need to give things time is very key. Now I'll give you an example. There are things I prayed for in my first year of marriage or second year that I'm seeing them come to life now. Like 4 years later, yeah? You've prayed for this person about a certain area in their life, or about a certain habit, or about certain friends that are just not building him. Then you pray, like, I wish you could see what I see. You get? And things don't happen. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, the person is not changing, or you feel like, God, you're not working in him fast enough, you know? I've learned that things take time. Imagine this person has been single for 20 years or 10 years or however long, and then 2 years in marriage, you want him to be a completely different thing. Now, it takes time for you to change and be this man that this wife wants to see, or this woman that this man wants to see. So I think, like I mentioned, giving people grace and waiting things out in prayer, in prayer, as you wait and pray, Don't be nagging about it, always reminding him. You know, there's a time I used to keep telling Steve about some things. And today you have not, you know. It becomes nagging and the person begins to feel like resisting. I tell you, when you talk about something all the time, sometimes men begin to resist. So find creative ways, pray about it, talk to other men, because I've really learned that men listen to men. You can tell your husband something, hey babe, this, and he's like, And then Mr. Rinaldi tells him, they have a conversation, and he's like, yeah, great idea. You're just like, but sir, yesterday I was telling you and you were saying it's fake. You get? So maybe bring people in the marriage who are working with him, who will influence him for the better. That is going to save you in marriage. But the key thing I want to emphasize is just waiting things out. Just pray, wait, I think I have a verse for that. When he talks about winning your husband over with a gentle and quiet spirit. So you don't have to be nagging about the thing all the time. Just be gentle, pray for him, surrender him to God, because there's a verse that says, the heart of a king is in God's hands, and God steers it, like the water, he steers it as he wants it to go. So you just surrender him to God, who has his heart, in his hands. And let me tell you, when you patiently wait, things will actually become better. The challenge is we want things in our time, now. We want to rush God's process, and we end up losing, and you give up so quickly in your marriage. Now imagine, if I'd given up about that certain issue 2 years ago, I will not be enjoying the fruits, of the thing right now. So please wait on the Lord, and also be gracious to your spouse. Light bulb moment, Lisa. Did you know that 80% of people do not wash their hands after using the restroom, except if someone is watching? You're dying to shake hands with those important people. Nice to know you. Stop it. The other thing God has been teaching me is to help Steve where he needs help, not where I want to help. So sometimes as ladies, we are very tempted to help on the things that are easier for us, and those are not the things that the person actually needs. Take an example. I think I've shared here before, my love language is gifts, and quality time, so I love to give gifts to Steve, or to just spend time with him. It comes easy for me. Like I told you, I can be with him everywhere and not feel like I need any space, So it's easy for me. But for Steve, he would love me to serve him. Now, the truth is, serving is hard for me. Like, what they call it? Acts of service. Steve loves acts of service. Go get the tea, bring it to him, or doing things for him, get socks for him. Acts of service. Now, those things are hard. Let me tell you, I don't know if there's anyone like me. Let me know in the comments. It's just so hard for me. So sometimes I find myself doing the easy things because they come naturally, and then you feel like you're working. When someone asks you, are you a good wife? You're like, yeesha, I am a part. So many times you find that you doing, and yet the other person, you're doing a miss. Like their love tank is empty because for you doing things that are easy for you. So how can you help where he needs help? And that comes from conversation. Listening to the unsaid, seeing, sometimes I can see Steve, and you see he has come, maybe you've not noticed, maybe he wants a cup of tea, then I quickly jump up, because I'm seeing he's a bit, he wants to do it, I quickly jump up and do it, because he may not tell me, because you also don't want to be that person who's always telling, do this for me, so you want someone also to seek, that you need help, and then jump to it. So please help where your partner needs help. Don't be saying, for me, I don't believe in those things. Let him pick his socks. But for 7 years, you have seen that he has failed to put the socks in the laundry basket. Why are you fighting? How much longer do you want to fight? Pick the socks. Put them in. You won't die. Let me tell you, you will not die. You will die to self, but you will not die. So instead of fighting, please, do the thing. You have seen that he struggles with organizing. You're good at it. You were brought here to help. Why don't you want to help, ladies? For me, I don't understand it. I know it's hard. I'm also struggling in a few areas. But for me, God constantly tells me, that's not what he needs. This is what he needs, But of course, it doesn't mean that it's only. Sometimes he may not even see what he needs, And that's where God helps us to to support our husbands in certain things. I've shared here before, how I've wanted Steve to grow spiritually. What? Women, we can be feeling like for us, we are more spiritual, etc. And I have another point to that, but for now, support him. How do you need to buy for him devotionals so that he can read his word? You need to invite him for fellowships, go with him for fellowships, and things like that. Do what you think is going to support him and help him for the better. Yeah. God has been teaching me to show Steve affection in front of the children. Yeah, it's as simple as that. We want to model godly marriages, that good love. But so many times we're hiding. You can't even kiss your husband because you feel like, it will spoil our children, God has been telling me to just show it because it's in a healthy environment. So that when you begin having those conversations of this only happens in the institution of marriage, it clicks for them. But imagine you're telling them about this good love that happens in marriage and they have never seen it anywhere. Like for you, every time it's just like housemate. Pass the bread. Bring the remote. Like that's all they see. They need to see the cuddles. They need to see the kisses. They need to see you dying to self. They need to see you helping your partner. Oh, babe, I can help you. Oh, welcome back home. You take the things, Give him a hug. Let them see that affection early because they'll begin to know what is true love and what is fake love. Because so many people lie to ladies, they lie to little girls about what kind of love is. So show it to them early, laugh with one another, let them see you tickle each other. You get what I'm saying? It's as simple as that, but it does it does great things in just transferring that thing to the next generation so that they know what a healthy marriage looks like. And they're not deceived by the world that these marriages are not possible. They'll be like, I've seen my father and mother 20 years now down. They are still in a healthy state. So try it out and let me know. It's such a good thing. The final thing I want to talk about, I touched a little on it, but comparing your spouse's spiritual journey with yours. Now, I talked about it on Instagram sometime, and so many people were relating because like I've mentioned, women, we feel like we are more spiritual. We're the ones who go for overnights. We're the ones who are fasting. We're the ones in Bible study. The men at work. You get work, and things like that. So you begin to feel like, guy, he's not at my level. He's not that deep. He's not too spirit. You guys have said those things. I know. And at one point, I felt like that, yeah? But God reminded me that we are both on different journeys. We have a relationship with God and experience Him differently. And yes, for me, I'm praying for 1 hour. Steve may not pray for 1 hour. That doesn't mean that now he's not too deep. We put these measures on ourselves and feel like, sure, babe, you're not praying in tongues properly. You're not reciting all the scriptures, as you're praying, because for you, that's how you pray. So I think just allow your partner to grow with God, support him where you can, but do not measure him to your standard and say, he's not that deep, he's not this and that. That can, it can affect your relationship and you begin to actually feel that you're better than. And the moment you begin to feel you're better than in the marriage, you're going to put yourself on a pedestal and he'll begin to realize that he's not that good enough. He's not meeting your spiritual standard as a priest. And it affects them in a way. So God has constantly been reminding him, support him where you can, pray for him, and see his journey with God. And I've begun to see it. And I keep telling Steve, he knows that when I see him reading the word, I'm just like, ooh. Those are things that, for me, you get the point, yeah. I've allowed him to walk his journey with God, and it's beautiful. And as I grow with God myself, so don't put pressure on your spouses to be like you, to pray like you, to see God like you see them. It's a different journey, but you can pray together, support one another, inspire, encourage. When you've read a word, share with him, what God has been teaching you, and then you keep pouring into one another. So for me, that's how it's been going. I hope you found value. Let me know in the comment section, What are those things God has been teaching you about marriage? Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video widely because you could save and help a marriage out there. I just also want to say that this space is Serene Beauty. It's beautiful, and you know, those brides that are coming in get a chance to take photo shoots before they go to church, and this is going to make, you know, you feel good and confident about your day because you've started off in the right place. So book your stay with Serene Beauty. They'll do your makeup, you'll sleep here with your bridesmaids, and you'll have a great time. My name is Lisa Kusima. I'm here to inspire.